Today, I believe, is the something of July. We had the 4th of July a few days ago. I'm actually not sure what the date is. Living in South America, in Argentina, the 4th of July has no meaning. Well, let me tell you one thing. I'm sitting here with 3 of my dogs. This Doberman to my right has been with me for 11 years, and away from me are 2 guardian dogs. They're bull mastiffs that live outside at night. And at night right now are 2 working line German Shepherd dogs. We live in part of Cordoba, Argentina, inside of a compound. We have a more than 2-meter high wall around us. And as you can see, we have 5 layers of protection, dogs. This is the bookend. My coming of age was the Vietnam War, 20 years old when I went into the Army. I'm almost 80 years old now. The thing that horrified me most about my time in Vietnam was the knowledge that decent people can behave like monsters in the right context and with the right state of mind. Good people. People that were my friends. People that did terrible things. But they were not what terrible people. It's also what made returning to the United States very difficult, because I knew that all of those civilian people that I was encountering were the same as those military people that I had just left and spent 3 years with. And those civilian people, under different circumstances, can be extremely dangerous. And so when I was 20 years old, I learned the real danger of living through the horrors of the war in Vietnam. That's an experience that doesn't leave, but it rides along with all of the very positive things that have happened since my return. Now I'm not coming of age. I've had a beautiful life. And maybe it was this knowledge of the potential evil of decent people that led me to study the things that I have and develop my life in a certain way. And I've been quite successful. And I've had a good life. I'm still having a good life. But the bookend is coming. The bookend was my initiation into the war culture, which showed to me the inherent violence in, if not all people, most people, the vast majority of people. And that inhumanity stayed hidden for the most part. Not hidden to me and not hidden to others, but hidden to people who were uninitiated in that level of human depravity that's available to all, most, if not all of us. Now it's public knowledge. Now we see it every day. Over the last few days, I've spent maybe 4 or 5 hours watching documentaries on the rise power of the Nazi Party. And I've always wondered, how could it happen? And I think I understand it. And it's not that complicated. People need leadership. There's benevolent leaders and there's malevolent leaders. I don't know that we've ever seen a benevolent leader. I don't know if there is such a thing as a benevolent leader, but I believe in it. I believe in the possibility of a harmonious community living under the rule of a benevolent leader. I don't think a population of poorly educated people will yield a positive result if left to democratic rule. You need benevolence. Benevolence is not easy to achieve. In fact, the opposite is true. Because the default of the brain is to be malevolent, because the other is not trustworthy, the other is dangerous. And we have to be careful. So we need leadership that is focused on moral education. Before adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, whatever, spelling. I'm a very poor speller. Chen Cheng believed in it. Bertrand Russell believed in it. While I don't hold myself at their level, I also believe in it as a possibility. The pain that is being intentionally generated on the masses, is ununderstandable to the uneducated people, to the people that are not educated to the malevolence of human potential. Gavin de Becker, predictor of violence, he's an author and other things, profiler. And he said there's not a thing that a person can do to another person that evil, torture, that hasn't already been done. Maybe now with technology, there are things that can be done with computers, and if there are, it'll be found. So this profound sadness overtakes me, even though my life is very good. And even though I'm not a sad person, the thing that I was introduced to when I was 20, actually I was 18 years old, even earlier because I had a political education, but through my body, through my sensations, I learned about it at age 21. I started training at age 20. Now I'm almost 80 years old, and that which is hidden has become manifest. That which was only knowable to those who participated is now knowable to everybody who will open their eyes. I don't know that it'll do any good. I don't even know what good is. But I know what is here now and what is coming our way is something, I'm actually even ashamed to say this, that I have hoped for. I've hoped for people to feel what I've lived with my entire life, not of my asking. And I'm afraid that's going to come to be. And now I'm sorry I even thought that way. But there's no going backwards. I'm done.